What happens when your worst date ends up being your +1 to a dream wedding in Australia? Buckle up for the full recap of the movie, Anyone But You. The rom-com where Bea and Ben go from hating each other to faking it for the gram. Will paradise ignite a real spark? Or will their past ruin everything? Hit that subscribe button and let's find out. The movie opens with Bea, a young woman, walking into a coffee shop. She politely asks the barista if she can use the restroom, but gets turned down because it's for paying customers only. Luckily, a guy named Ben sitting nearby notices and pretends Bea is his wife. He says he's buying something so she can use the bathroom. Bea, touched by his kindness, heads in, but accidentally gets her pants wet thanks to a malfunctioning sink. She spends some time drying off before finally stepping back out. Just as she's about to leave, Ben calls out. There's a toilet seat cover stuck to her shoe. Bea, however, misinterprets this. She thinks Ben is about to ask her out, so he plays along to save face and asks her on a date. Their date goes swimmingly, and they end up spending the whole day together before heading back to Ben's place. There, they share a simple meal of grilled cheese and even end up sleeping together. In the morning, Bea tries to make a quiet exit, but Ben catches her and feels a bit let down. Just then, Ben's friend Pete walks in and notices a wrench left out. Apparently, this means Ben told Bea something personal about his late mother, something he wouldn't share with a casual fling. Meanwhile, Bea calls her friend, excited about the possibility of actually liking Ben. But as fate would have it, she ends up overhearing Ben talking to Pete. He describes Bea as a disaster and says he couldn't get rid of her fast enough. Needless to say, Bea's heart is broken. Fast forward 6 months. Ben and Pete meet up with Pete's sister Claudia and her girlfriend Hallie. Hallie introduces them to her younger sister, who turns out to be none other than Bea. Things get awkward quickly. Both groups know about the disastrous first encounter, and Bea and Ben waste no time bickering and showing their dislike for each other. A year or so later, Claudia and Hallie get engaged and plan their wedding in Sydney, Australia. This means another uncomfortable reunion for Bea and Ben. The group arrives in Australia and meets Bea and Hallie's parents, Leo and Innie, along with Pete and Claudia's mom Carol and her stepdad Roger. It turns out Leo and Innie had different expectations for Bea. They thought she'd be the first to get married and finish law school, unaware that she actually dropped out. The beach beckons, and Ben and Bea join Claudia and Hallie for some fun in the sun. But things get complicated when Ben spots his ex, Margaret, hanging out with Pete's cousin Claudia. Apparently, Ben still has a torch for Margaret, although she seems happy with her new guy. As night falls, the group gathers for a fancy dinner party. Everything starts out smoothly, but tensions rise when Ben and Bea can't seem to stop arguing. Their childish bickering reaches a climax when they accidentally light a firework that goes rogue, setting fire to a flower display and causing a minor meltdown when it singes Hallie's hair. Fearing their antics will turn the wedding into a disaster, Pete, Roger, Hallie, and Claudia hatch a secret plan. They figure if Ben and Bea just get it out of their system, they'll finally move on and stop causing trouble. Their solution: get them to hook up. Meanwhile, Ben and Bea, wise to their friends' meddling, decide on a scheme of their own. Bea figures a fake romance with Ben will not only appease her parents, who are still pushing her to get back with her ex, Jonathan. He agrees to the plan, and soon Ben and Bea are putting on a show of lovey-dovey affection. Their first attempt at some public smooching on a group hike goes hilariously awry when a koala sighting distracts everyone. Then, chaos erupts when a spider decides to take up residence in Ben's shorts. The ensuing panic leads to Ben stripping down completely, just in case there are more spiders, with Bea generously offering him a pair of her own shorts to wear. Ben even manages to bond with Bea's parents, Leo and Innie. He teaches Leo a swimming trick his own mother used to show him, earning a grateful thank you from Bea for his honesty with her dad. Despite their budding camaraderie, Ben finds himself drawn to Claudia, reminiscing about their past relationship. Meanwhile, Bea reconnects with Jonathan around the resort. The group's next adventure involves a nighttime boat ride. Hoping to steal the spotlight and maybe spark some jealousy, Ben and Bea attempt a reenactment of the iconic I'm flying scene from Titanic at the bow of the ship. They succeed in getting everyone's attention, particularly Margaret's. Unfortunately, their grand moment takes a turn when Bee loses her balance and tumbles overboard. Without hesitation, Ben jumps in after her. Luckily, they manage to find a dinghy before the others notice their disappearance and send out a rescue party. Stuck waiting for a rescue, Ben and Bee finally have a chance for a heart-to-heart. Ben apologizes for the awful things she overheard him say, and Bee accepts. As the helicopter airlifts them back to shore, Ben starts to freak out about flying. Luckily, Bee remembers overhearing him listen to the song Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield on the plane. She starts singing it to him, knowing it's his serenity song, to calm his nerves down. Back at the hotel, Ben tries to make amends by whipping up a grilled cheese sandwich, just like they had on their first date. One thing leads to another, and they end up kissing and sleeping together. However, history seems to repeat itself. In the morning, Ben sneaks out before realizing Bee is awake and saw him leave. This déjà vu moment leaves Bee feeling just as sad and abandoned as he did before. With the wedding just a day away, the truth bomb explodes. Ben and Bee confess to everyone about their fake relationship, knowing the jig is up thanks to their meddling friends. On top of that, Bea's parents discover she dropped out of law school, adding more drama to the mix. Just when things couldn't get any crazier, the family dog goes rogue, knocking over the wedding cake. The chaos sends Claudia storming out, leaving a dark cloud hanging over the upcoming ceremony. On the wedding day itself, Ben overhears a heated argument between Claudia and Hallie, fearing it might derail the whole wedding. He rushes to Ba's room and proposes a truce. They'll keep up their charade for the sake of their friend's happiness. Together, they apologize to Claudia and Hallie, and miraculously, the wedding goes off without a hitch. But the celebration takes a sharp turn during the reception. Margaret, noticing Ba's absence, approaches Ben for a dance. Bea witnesses them kiss, shattering her heart, and she flees the party in tears. Meanwhile, Ben, realizing his feelings for Margaret have faded, learns from Claudia and Hallie that a heartbroken Bea has taken off. Determined to win her back, Ben charters a helicopter, knowing exactly where she went. Ben finds Bea at the Sydney Opera House, exactly where she mentioned wanting to go. He spills the truth about Margaret and confesses his real feelings. Relief washes over Bea as she realizes the truth, and she admits her own affection. A passionate kiss seals their newfound connection. Back at the reception, hand in hand, they face the music. The DJ throws a playful curveball. The first song is Unwritten. Laughter fills the air as everyone joins in, playfully teasing Ben. Later, Claudia and Hallie reveal their secret weapon, the staged fight that pushed Ben and Bea together. Their meddling worked. Speaking of unexpected pairings, Margaret and Jonathan end up hitting it off, forming a surprising new couple. That's it for the video. Subscribe if you enjoyed.